Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Today, we are once again joined by Dr. Nyri A. Bakkalian, who is going to join us in looking at the latest Touhou project, the next Touhou project game in the series, 10 Desires. If you would like to introduce yourself, Nyri.
As usual, it's a pleasure to be here. I am going to be counting on you, as Moose said in the comments, to point out if we have any sound issues on your end, and we will do our best to adjust. Anyway, I am Dr. Nyri A. Bakkalian, pronouns she, her. I am a historian of Japan. My expertise may be in the Bakumatsu Meiji transition of the 19th century, but in order to study that, I had to read very widely, and I was a little bit of an oddball in my among my colleagues in that, in order to understand the 19th century and its events, I sort of tried to connect it all the way back to the 9th century, 8th century. So the centuries immediately after the period that I am told this game that we're going to be looking at today influenced. I stream on Twitch as at Riverside Wings. You will see me in the chat by that handle. So if you have any questions that you don't want to interrupt the flow of the game with, and ask me in text, I will be happy to answer on that side while we let the wonderful Moo work her magic with bullet hell as she always does. And I want to say thank you to the so many of you from this channel who are regulars, who are getting to be regulars or semi-regulars on my channel. It's always a pleasure to see you.
I am very appreciative of that too. Thanks, friends, for also supporting out Nyri. Nyri is wonderful. Let's see here. So, as a pattern that we've started to kind of notice here, 10 Desires is going to be a game with unique and bespoke game mechanics. As UFO had the UFO system, 10 Desires is going to have its own unique system. However, the idea of bombs being separated from weapon power remains, along with the idea of if you die with 0 bombs available, you will get 2 bombs for free. The game uses spell cards and bombs semi-interchangeably. If the player is using one, then it's a bomb, but the enemies are using spell cards. And as before, Nyri will be reading out the names of the spell cards as enemy bosses use them. And as before, I will be beating the game on normal difficulty in 1 credit in order to get a good ending. Because, as with all the previous games, if you do multiple credits or if you play on easy difficulty, the ending is, and then the protagonist ran away because she didn't feel she was ready. But interestingly, this game actually adds another type of ending. If you beat the game on 1 credit on normal difficulty or above, and you beat the game holding 3 or more bombs, which again, you only get 2 if you do a revive, then you get what's called the parallel ending. Today, we are aiming for the parallel ending for protagonist Sanae. Let's fire up the game, and I can discuss the bespoke mechanic for this game as we go. Fire things up here. Good. The visuals are there immediately, and sound in 3, 2, 1. Oh. So, let's see here. There is an in-game manual that discusses some of the basics and also the bespoke mechanics, so we're going to go over, in the tutorial here, the unique stuff for this game. The Spirit Realm is a fantastic realm that people witness just before they die. Here you are immune to enemy shots and your own attacks are much stronger. It also doubles the effects of the spirits you collect. You'll enter the spirit realm if you are hit with at least one icon filled. However, once the gauge runs out, your life is lost. You cannot stop in the middle. You'll be unable to escape the grip of death. If the gauge is filled to the maximum, you can enter the spirit realm at will by pressing the trance key. In this case, you won't die when the gauge runs out. So even if you get hit, don't give up. Counter with one last attack, or at least make it a draw. Power and points, as before. The item get borderline at the top of the screen, as before. Blue Divine Spirits, Desire for Riches. Increase the maximum point item value. Appears when you defeat enemies and when you shoot bosses from point blank range. Purple Divine Spirit, Desire for Long Life. Adds your life pieces. Only certain enemies drop these. Green, Desire for Bombs. Gives you spell card pieces. White Divine Spirit, increases your score and fills the spirit gauge more than usual. Appears when you quickly spawn a lot of blue spirits. Sort of a combo bonus. The key sort of thing for this is that you are going to want to try and destroy enemies the moment they arrive on screen. If an enemy is allowed to stay on screen long enough, they will drop no spirits of any kind. If you die with less than 2 bombs, revive with 2. France is automatically ended if you end up in dialogue. Grazing gets you points. You can quick retry. You can play anything in practice mode. You can also individually do practice of various spell cards for free at any time, so you can see if you can do them without spending any bombs. In any case, with all that preamble out, the storyline preamble of the game is there's a lot of divine spirits suddenly out. There is the cherry blossoms are in excessive bloom, which harkens back to the events of a game prior to when we started called Perfect Cherry Blossom. And so our 4 protagonists are, depending on who we pick, are the one that go to investigate the situation. Difficulty is by choosing a type of prayer. Prayer for health and long life. Hard to die, for those who want to live as long as possible. Prayer for traffic safety. Normal mode. Find a safe way to go. Have a nice trip. Prayer for business prosperity. If you're confident in your abilities, you should be able to make a profit. Prayer for IT data security. Asking gods for help is pointless. Don't play this.
Okay, so it's interesting that they're phrasing it this way. You'll note the prayer for format. These are phrased in the manner of amulets. So prayer for traffic safety. That's in Japanese. That's something that like gets written on an omamori, an amulet, usually in a brocade bag. Although these days you can have it as a sticker or something that hangs from your rearview mirror, and so that's the range of them. You even have the IT data security one, which is very well known as a purview of Kanda Myojin, the grand shrine in Tokyo, where the great Heian era warrior leader who would be Emperor Taira no Masakado is the chief deity.
As mentioned before though, prayer for traffic safety in normal mode. It says I cleared the Desiree but I have actually done this as Sanae as well. It's just, you know, I have a separate account, a separate computer login I use. Each character only has one type of shot, but in turn we have 4 characters. And once again, Perfect Cherry Blossom, a game that came out before our starting point of Mountain of Faith, is here. She was the 5th stage boss of Perfect Cherry Blossom and is a swordmaster and gardener and half ghost, half human under the service of Yuyuko, who is the final boss of Perfect Cherry Blossom. And so, let's see. here we have the motivations quoted at the top. These strange divine spirits are really getting on my nerves, angered by the small divine spirits appearing everywhere. There's lots of these weird spirits gathering. Very interesting. Small divine spirits are whispers of human desires, desires that call out to greedy people. Once again, Marissa is a thief. Sane. Whatever they are, these divine spirits must be useful to the shrine. Human desires lead to the biggest blessings. Faith stems from them, after all. The Netherworld's running out of space. I'll cut down all of the extras. She couldn't leave the enigma of the small divine spirits alone, so she started an investigation. So, Sane, living god and shrine maiden responsible for Kaneko and Suwako's shrine, will be our protagonist. Let's go.
How can you have, one might well ask as well one may, a living god and shrine maiden? Well, as we said in past streams, the priests of Sua Shrine, which is the shrine to which Creator Zun belongs, had a tradition, no longer observed, but had a tradition that the priestly family of its shrines were the incarnations, like the heir apparent of that lineage, were the incarnations of the deities that were enshrined there. So that's how you can have it. Also, there are some deities, including one of the ones that I venerate, who are called Tamayori Hime, or something along those lines. And it's sort of like, what if a Miko was a shrine maiden was a deity? Like a shrine maiden who is also sometimes a divine vessel, a vessel that a different deity can inhabit. What if they were a deity unto themselves? So this is very understandable.
And then, in addition to you reading the spell cards as usual, I will note that it might be helpful for you to read the level intros. So I'll handle this one, but for the next few.
Okay.
Enjoyment, even death. Stage 1, Night Cherry Blossoms in the Netherworld. What are these faint divine spirits that are scattered and swept away by the cherry blossoms? They only activate moments before death. So as you can see, we're getting these gray and blue sort of bubbles from the enemies, and those are filling a meter in the lower left. That meter in the lower left, when maxed out, will allow me to press the C button in order to enter the spirit world manually, as opposed to entering it only when I die. And it, won't cost me a life to do this. As you can see, there was a green one there, and so that gave me a bone fragment, or a spellcard fragment, whatever you want to call it. The game uses the term, as I mentioned, spell card for both the player ability and the boss special patterns, but for the sake of clarity on stream, players use bombs, bosses use spell cards. I wonder if it's really advisable for the Netherworld to allow living humans so readily. Oh, do we have visitors? Stationary Ghost. Yuko Saigyoji. Is that correct? Saigyoji? Hold on a moment, I'll prepare some tea. Oh no, don't mind me. Anyways, I have business with you. You could at least start off with, sorry to bother you at this late hour or something. These divine spirits have suddenly started gushing out everywhere. So, would you know anything about the matter? Divine spirits, you say? You want to know about divine spirits, do you? If you please. Then it's a duel. Try and defeat me for it. Okay. Are you feeling bored, Yuko? I will once again note that this was a final boss. So
Dance of the Dead Butterflies.
So she's clearly not taking this too seriously. She is much more powerful than this. Gotta say, it's very intimidating playing this game for the first time and seeing a final boss as the first boss.
Ghostly butterfly, ghost spot.
Thank you, thank you. When you're sorry, quick noise, that means I'm collecting ghosts quick enough for the gray ones to appear.
Nether sign, endless evening cherry blossoms.
There's sort of a rhythmic whip, and that means I'm generating both a blue and a gray.
So, butterflies have an association, I believe, with death in Japanese folk reference, but I'm a little bit hazy on the specifics. I know though that they are much later on, the crest of the Taira family, but that's not for until the 10th, 11th century.
So, you wanted to know about divine spirits? Did we really need to fight for that? Something on your mind? Well, I just figured someone who knows about spirits might know why they showed up so suddenly. Do you plan to put them to use for your shrine? Notice how she's not injured, by the way. I don't know what's going on either. Ghastly as they seem, I know nothing about these divine spirits that are gathering toward the temple's cemetery. Huh?
Interesting.
Level name coming up. I think. There it is.
There we are. The road of the Myoren Temple. The yokai before the gate reading an unlearnable sutra. Ah, Myoren, a name that's familiar to us at this point after last week. Heading toward the Myoren Temple Cemetery under the strange guidance of that ghost. Might the ones there be related to the divine spirits?
Some necessary context here is Myoren Temple is the temple that Byakuren Hijiri ended up forming, which is primarily welcome to yokai. And it seems like the spirits are heading in this general direction for unknown reasons. So I've had the transmitter completely filled for a while now, but I'm kind of waiting for a specific moment to use the ability. Something like right now. You see how there's a few bomb spirits available, the green ones? If I use trance, I enter a powerful mode, and the value of all the spirits I pick up is double. What does that mean for the bomb piece increasing ones? I get 2 instead of 1. Also, you'll notice a new health bar system for this game. Health bar, instead of being in the upper left corner, is now a radial dial around them, including a little notch in it indicating phase changes.
Echo sign, mountain echo.
And then, once again, Zen making good use of musical synchronization with events in game. The boss arriving the moment the music changed. And off he goes. One very notable thing about this game. This one, distinctly much easier than in most of the previous games have been. by a significant margin. Zun did mention at one point that this was an intentional choice. I just kind of beat down the girl who's performing her morning duties. But everyone should still be asleep, so it shouldn't be a problem. It is a problem! I got careless thinking you're just a human. Ah, so you're doing well. Great. That's great. Anyway, the temple starts this morning quite early, doesn't it? Oh yeah, that's just part of the liturgy.
Note that she had gyate over her head. That's the Prajnaparamita mantra from the Heart Sutra. And what's her name?
Kyoko Kasodani.
Kasodani Kyoko. An okyo is the term for the sutras in Japanese. But yeah, gyate, para gyate, boji soaka is the Japanese pronunciation of gate, para samgate, bodhisvaha. Gone beyond, gone completely beyond, praise be to awakening. So we're, once again, this is the syncretism episode.
Syncretism episode. Same as it always is. I unfortunately missed what the subheading above Kasodani Kyoko's name was. So if someone has her type...
Sutra girl.
Is that it? I've gotten quite good at being able to recite sutras from memory. That's great. Incidentally, attacking humans is also part of the liturgy. A human scream to begin a morning at the temple. How wonderful. I believe this is a specific type of yokai that is a explanation for an echo across a mountain.
Cosine power resonance.
So the idea of yelling across a mountain and then a while later hearing a response. Yeah, Conley pointing out the same thing, is that she is specifically an echo yokai, but if someone in the chat can get the exact name of what type of yokai that would be, it would be appreciated. And so you can see her attack patterns do relate to echoes in some ways by she creates barriers that the bullets will reflect and bounce off of.
Mountain echo, long range echo.
Fires off some bullets, and then after a while, they come back but much bigger.
Great Force, charge cry. Yamabiko.
This round's actually a little scary to me. I can bait her into pointing the circle a specific direction. That makes things easier. By going sideways like that. Yamabiko. That sounds familiar, so... Gotcha. I'm done for! What a shout. Oh, how this humble Yamabiko...
There we go.
There we go. Oh, how this humble Yamabiko still lacks training. What? Could it be that you're a yokai? Huh? Oh, thank goodness. I was worried I was fighting a monk. Did she seriously think this was part of the monk's liturgy? Now then, she mentioned the temple cemetery, so that's where I'll be off to. Just walking past her. Let's Live in a Lovely Cemetery is the name of the song.
Myoden Temple Cemetery. A straight line paradise. Are those living in the cemetery humans? Specters? Or are they yokai? Why are the spirits everyone calls divine spirits gushing toward the cemetery? Well, you know, that gets into complicated questions of theology, actually.
Huge.
Because the... The spirits of the ancestors are a type of divine spirit, generally speaking, in the Shinto Buddhist view. But if you're going to enshrine somebody who actually was a living human as a god, it's going to involve added ceremony. But within the context of like a kin group, yeah, you can have the part of the what's called the Mitama no Kami. Yeah. And a Japanese cemetery is quite a place to walk around, yeah.
That was me using trance in order to double the value of life and bomb drops.
And while generally speaking, if you can pause for a moment, while generally speaking, cemeteries in Japan tend to be Buddhist, because Buddhism is the religion by which most people have their funeral rites done. There are, of course, Christian cemeteries and just, non-religious affiliated cemeteries. There's also nowadays Muslim cemeteries. And my hometown of Sendai is going to be hosting the first Muslim cemetery in Japan that I'm aware of, ever. And take that, xenophobes, like this is Japan at what could be its best, this already multicultural place. But yes, as Conley Basher points out, born Shinto, live Christian, die Buddhist. So there is, in fact, most people are buried in Japan in Buddhist cemeteries. There are some exceptions, as I mentioned. However, I would be remiss if I didn't point out that there is, in fact, such a thing as a Shinto cemetery. It's just Shinto being so associated with life and being so averse to ritual pollution, which includes things like death, that is uncommon.
All right, and with that, I would like to point out. Oh, you came at a good time. Troubled Forgotten Item. Kogasa Tatara returns. I saw this girl I've never seen before keeping watch back there, but no matter how much I shoot her, I always lose by timeout. So could you do something about her, please? A quarrel between fellow yokai, perhaps? That's just perfect. I'll take care of both of you at once. Look at her. She's learning how to scare humans. She understands that people are easier to scare in cemeteries. I'm so proud of her.
No.
As a reminder, her yokai type will go hungry if she doesn't startle people. She is also very, very bad at startling people.
Yeah.
Till next time, Kogasa.
Come very far. Yeah.
Adorable goober.
I'm still delighted that it's like it's in her name. The Tatara part of her name. Like, yeah, she is.
So close. Just where is this yokai Miss Kogasa was talking about? Or was it even a yokai in the first place? I'll be disappointed if it's a human. Don't come any closer! This is no place for the likes of you to enter. There you are.
Oh no.
Loyal undead...
Jiangxi?
Loyal undead Miyako Yoshika. We Jiangxi are fighters, arisen to protect this magnificent mausoleum. Jiangxi? That's right. We have had life breathed into us by noble spirits. I know, I was watching. Tian was rather cute, wasn't she? What are you talking about? Ah, no wonder I hadn't heard about Jiangxi in a while. So you ended up here in Gensokyo, huh?
Oh, interesting. They're using furigana, but in English.
Yep.
Okay.
I assume that Sanae is referencing maybe pop culture from the outside world, because, again, Sanae is a somewhat recent arrival to Gensokyo. And as a reminder...
Yeah,
And as
If Zoe asks a question in the chat, I will answer in the chat.
okay. And then, as a reminder, things end up in Gensokyo when they pass between the border of reality and fantasy? Like mythology ends up in Gensokyo, generally speaking. I don't know what you're talking about, but if you know of us, then you must understand. If you're done in by our Danmaku, you'll become a Jiangshi too. So, I quite like this boss fight. It is fairly interesting because, as mentioned from Totara Kogasa, I keep losing to her from timeout.
Recovery, heal by desire.
And if we destroy those little ghostlets there, blue spirits come out, go to her, and heal her. She's got life recovery. And we're gonna time out this one. And she laughs at us even. But yeah, a bit of a soul lifesteal kind of gimmick to this boss, which I find cute and interesting. And appropriate too. Can you actually not retreat to the corner, Miyako?
Jiangshi are of course not Japanese. However, poison male, poison rays. Jiangshi are of course not Japanese. However, the argument could be made that they are the Chinese equivalent to something which is very Japanese, and that is the idea of a shikigami. And shikigami is a servitor, in the Western parlance that would be something like puppet, I guess. It's a being that is created by the magical practitioner, and it's there for a purpose. It's like a desire sign saved up by a desire spirit invitation. Jiangshi is a hopping corpse, and a Jiangshi is specifically in the Chinese tradition is a corpse in the garb of a Qing dynasty official with a Taoist talisman hanging over their face, and they sort of hop around and do the controller's bidding. So it's a similar idea to a point to a shikigami, but it's of course not Japanese. So we want to be sure to maintain that distinction.
If you would like to see another cute depiction of a Jiangshi in popular media, the character Hasainko, or Lele, from Darkstalkers, is one of these.
Oh yeah! That's been a hot minute. I remember that one.
Mm-hmm. Ah! I'm done for! I've heard so many agonized yells today. But as long as life remains on this world, zombies will never perish. But, you know... What? Jiangshi have faded to fantasy, but zombies are really popular, right? That's good to know. I'm in a good mood. What does you want? Would you let me through? Oh, if I must. I'll just take a little nap. Farewell. I hope the sleep's eternal this time.
Mr. Vampire is in fact a lovely movie series. I have seen several of them. I recommend it. Okay, let's see here. Accelerating Luxury, Stage 4. A hole in the wall of the Dreamscape Mausoleum. The divine spirits pulled into fine strings of light towards the cavern's depth. The scenery was unlike anything of this world.
Groovy music.
here we go. Same Bellflower.
Yep. That was me using a bomb for the first time. And then
Down a damn cave.
Gray Thaumaturgy, I think is the name of Sanae's bomb ability. Gray Thaumaturgy something.
Extend.
Do we have a mid-boss? Unnamed. Unidentified mid-boss.
Jiangxi are associated with Taoism, that's correct. What is Japanese association with Taoism? In what sense do you mean? Evil sign Yang Xiao Hui. Make sure I get the tones right.
Better than I could ever do. Kind of scary pattern.
Nice.
Those are very, very, very persistent tracking bullets.
I suffered through a year of Mandarin, and most of what I remember is how to read the tone marks. Oh yeah, the same Bellflower. Okay, well if that's the direction you're wanting me to go. So Taoism in Japanese practice is this it informs things like the Japanese Buddhism, Shinto, of course, but also is the basis of the Japanese practice of geomancy along the Taoist lines.
Geomancy. That was one of the other words in the spell card.
When that is in service of the imperial court, that's called onmyodo.
Okay. We are in front of a fancy-looking gate, I will note.
Yes.
There is a heretical establishment like this beneath the newly made temple. That's kind of disturbing. Welcome. Oh, it seems you're a human.
Do you use Shikigami? The short answer is yes. That is exactly who uses Shikigami. Of course, Onmyoji are not the only users of Taoist geomancy, but they're the most famous ones. They're the ones that get the movies made about them.
So, to preface this is one of my favorite bosses outside of the very people attack in a way that's reminiscent of their personality and their fighting style that was so present in Subterranean Animism. Best boss of the game, not gonna lie, says Conley. And you can learn a lot about her character on how this fight works, because it's really fascinating. Welcome. Oh, it seems you're a human. You're that one from before. Wicked hermit who passes through walls. Saiga Kaikaku. Beyond this point is the mausoleum of a great Taoist. Heretic humans are forbidden to enter. Oh my, a Taoist. The Jiangxi from before was yours? Well guessed. Just where has that girl gotten to? I beat her up. How should I tell her? Good morning. Oh, right at my side. Huh? It's still alive? Corpses can't die, you know. Isn't it wonderful? Now, can you handle another round?
So this character is being presented in the visual language of the Tenyo, I think is the term. The heavenly maidens that one sees in Taoist iconography. Like the loops in the hair, the cloud that she's sitting on, like it's very much evoking that. So that's very well placed.
Calmly typing out the name of the battle theme here. Now, can you handle another round with the girl who has absorbed all the divine spirits they gathered in the tomb? If you don't mind, I'd like to turn down the offer. Too bad. Seems the girl has a grudge against you, too. This song rules. So, Miyako Yoshika is out there in the back, providing bullets.
Demonify Zuo do more.
And now, do you see what she is doing with Yoshika?
Yeah, using, it looks like, as they're out front, to do point defense.
Not just that, she's a body shield.
Well, that's what point defense is.
Oh. And then anytime I kill Yoshika, she immediately stops, revives her, and then continues the fight.
Why would why would the Jiangxi use kunai? Well, that's because this is a game made by a Japanese person, I imagine. Also, probably... Okay, possession, corpse, tongji. I assume partly because this is a game made by a Japanese person, but also one would assume that there are similar weapons in Chinese usage that resulted in something that looked the same because of convergent evolution. What else is a Shikigami used for, says Zoe? If it can't take a bullet from me, what's the point? Well, there you go! But this is why I say point defense, you know, that, like a phalanx battery on a warship, you know, it's the thing that's supposed to be throwing up a curtain of lead so that the missile that's coming for you doesn't actually come for you. And if that battery gets taken out and nothing else, then that's an acceptable loss. A phalanx battery is a type of Shikigami. Now that's the thing I didn't expect I would be saying. Taoist sign, Dao fetal movement.
How splendid. You're not an ordinary human, are you? Can you tell? So what does a human like you want with the Grand Mausoleum? What exactly is going on? Huh? Right. An amazing person is about to be awakened. These spirits were attracted here by her power and gathered of their own accord. Huh. Is that right? Is that not what you wanted to know? I don't think I really get it all that well. For now, why don't I just go on ahead through that door? Let's see. Will you convert? You would make an excellent hermit. I don't want to be a hermit.
The use of hermit here, one assumes that, okay, Mall of Dreams, Great Mausoleum. So, one assumes that the use of hermit here is, in Japanese, would be sennin. Sen is the same sen as in Sendai, because the great Date Masamune saw himself as a Taoist sage, which in other translation is rendered as hermit. You know, an ascetic practitioner is the term. And the song is called Hall of Dreams. That's very interesting because that is the name of a building where a building in memory of Prince Shotoku.
Blood of those with hidden power, the Hall of Dreams Great Mausoleum.
Great Mausoleum.
A huge remnant.
A huge remnant is hidden behind the doors. Are the divine spirits aware of what lies within? Interesting. It's called you may don't know.
Quick question for any very sharp-eyed viewers. Has the cost of getting more bombs ever increased? Has it always been 8? Such information might be useful to me.
Oh no. Oh no. Soga no Tojiko? Soga no Tojiko?
Yeah? Should I pause?
Okay. Here we have to get into the politics of the Asuka period.
Oh boy.
Okay, so the Soga clan Boy, howdy. How do we... Um, all right. So, in the Asuka period, so the 538 to 710, there were two great clans at the imperial court that were involved in the politics of the court and were responsible for a great deal of its innovations that led to the creation of what became the Yamato court as we know it from the Heian era. And so one clan was called Soga, the other was called Mononobe. The Soga were ascendant for a very, 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 very long time until people got fed the fuck up with them. So, and they were driven from power by the late Asuka court noble Nakatomi no Kamatari, who you might know better by his later family name of Fujiwara no Kamatari. It's the same Fujiwara as in the Fujiwara regents of the Heian era, if you read the Pillow Book. It's the same Fujiwara as in the Northern Fujiwara, who were multi-ethnic kings of the North. The but the inclusion of Soga after we've had the Dream Pavilion tells me we're about to get a Prince Shotoku lore drop here. And yeah. I got flashbanged there, I think.
Thunder Arrow.
Gagoji Cyclone.
Have I lost a life yet? I don't think I have. I don't think I've been hit once.
Good job.
Like I mentioned, this game's a fair bit easier, but I'm still quite proud of my performance today.
The Soga and Mononobe had names like this, so like Soga no Umako, Soga no Iruka, Mononobe no Moria.
Oh, I need to be careful with this.
Very much.
I lose lives here frequently, because it's possible for those ghosts to spawn on top of you. So you kind of need to stick around the center of the screen, otherwise you can literally just get telefragged by them.
So whatever that is in the background, that looks like it's evoking the design of the Hall of Dreams. Like the actual Hall of Dreams at Horyuji. I'll put a link in the chat.
Ensokyo sure is mysterious. To think that buildings like this are still lying buried beneath the earth. Ah, the fateful day hath finally come. Thou who hast blessed my resurrection, speak anon and name thyself. Oh, someone's here. Who art thou that calleth upon me? Shika-sen from ancient Japan, Mononobe no Futo. I am going to assume that I should pause here.
Okay, you remember? Okay, so we got a Soga a little while ago, and now we have a Mononobe. So we have the two rival clans represented. We've also got an allusion to Taoist practice because there's a constellation on one of their sleeves. We have, of course, court garb, the court cap that you see there, the black court cap. The court cap is called an eboshi. If you have watched the film Mononoke Hime, you might recognize that name.
Lady
That
Eboshi.
is that kind of hat. Yes, my favorite character in that movie.
Okay. Well, I'm a god in Gensokyo, while acting as a shrine maiden on the side. A god, thou sayest? Dost thou come before me, seeking to deliver me unto heaven? Then mayhap there was value in having once before tasted death. No, I wasn't planning on that. Then what design has driven me before me? I'm not really sure of that myself. Somehow or another I just felt something brewing in the air, so I came to take a look. Then thou art a lost child? Very well, I shall cut through the haze of confusion that surrounds thee. Wilt thou bear witness as I demonstrate the fusion of the secret art of the Mononobe and the way of the Tao upon thee? I'm...
Oh boy.
Am I mispronouncing that, by the way?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Oh my goodness, this is just such a delight. This is just such a delight. Heaven sign, Reini Iwafune.
Boat time!
Oh, it's one of those boats that they serve sushi on.
This one seems bigger, though.
Slightly.
Whoa. Oh, it's a little scary when there's a move sideways pattern that requires you to go a little bit faster than the focus speed is.
Throwing dishes. Mononobe's 80 sake cups.
I love this pattern. The spell card name is very reminiscent of what the actual pattern is.
Throwing dishes, I'm not exactly sure of the reference there, but throwing dishes is in fact a thing.
That's also what she's doing.
Sometimes just a nuisance. And that's what she's doing, exactly.
Throwing around plates that are shattering.
Well, but specifically in the context of the Soga and Mononobe clans, it might be referring to something like an incident, a specific incident. Blaze sign, Blazing Winds, Haibutsu. Haibutsu, which is the thing that happened in 1871. Saint Girl Omonoimi's dinner. Omonoimi no Kami is one of the deities.
How about the actual pattern of the bullets? Is that relevant in some way, or is it just a cute, interesting looking geometry?
That might be a derivation of 3 oak leaves. It might be 3 rings. I'm not sure.
Fair enough. Just the pattern was very striking to me when I first saw this, and I wondered if
Oh
there's...
yeah, that is in fact a type of crest.
What manner of being art thou? Like I said, I'm a god, well, it doth matter not. I anon apprehended the purpose of my resurrection. The coming of a foe most wretched hath returned me, one of the Imperial Guard unto this waking world anew. Is that not correct? Foe most wretched? How rude. And anyways, what are these divine spirits? That's why I'm investigating. Divine spirits, saith thee. These shades that doth linger about thee are... vulgar spirits? Mayhap... The Crown Prince hath been resurrected! I cannot remain here like this. Excuse me if thou wouldst.
I would love to see how this is being phrased in Japanese.
Do you mind if I come in? I'm coming in. I'm coming in. Final stage, no lives lost. Interesting gimmick here. If you kill one of the fairies that are leading the ghosts, all the ghosts die instantly without dropping spirits. You want to keep the fairies alive. Hold Harmony Sacred.
Hold Harmony Sacred. Last stage, Divine Spirit Mausoleum. The massive quantity of gathered spirits resemble the starry sky. They silently wait for the one to give her voice.
Those enemies will never vanish unless you kill them. It's very easy to get just stuck with those. Note the last spirits are green here. Entering spirit mode in order to try and score as many bombs as possible. The red one slides. All these divine spirits. So, I need to not bomb more than twice. I need to not bomb more than twice. I need to not bomb more than twice. Die instead of bombing. Very important. Okay. That person just now called them vulgar spirits, didn't she? That person just now's name was Mononobe, huh? It seems like I've heard that somewhere before. The Mononobe clan was destroyed. I witnessed it for myself.
Oh, is this who I think it is?
Sure is. Long ago, the Mononobe clan and I opposed one another for religious reasons. To the public, it appeared as a confrontation between Shinto and Buddhism.
Oh no!
What are you talking about? I was said to be the Buddhist faction, but that was a ruse I had prepared. Who are you? I am Toyosato Mimi no Miko. People call me Prince Shotoku.
Toyosato Mimi!
I'll give you a minute. And yes, because basically every character in Touhou Project is a woman, Prince Shotoku is trans here.
Okay. So the visual design very striking. We have the sword. We don't know 10,000. Yes.
Prince Shotoku, the one on the 10,000 yen bill?
Prince Shotoku was on the 10,000 yen bill. But I will draw your attention here to the straight-edge sword in the Chinese style, famously in the alleged painting of Shotoku. We have the shaku, the baton of state, and we have a.
I see. I get it now.
The attire that is based on, again, Sui Dynasty Chinese court garb. Also, note on the earphones there, right? The wa as in harmony, but also wa as in Japan. Prince Shotoku was actually one of the first people to render to use that character to refer to Japan in correspondence with the Chinese emperor that got the Chinese emperor very mad.
1 second. I expected that these divine spirits would somehow be connected to an immense source of faith, but okay, continue.
Okay, but in this context, they've called her Toyosato Mimi no Miko. So Prince Shotoku was called Umayado no Miya because allegedly he was born in a stable. Umayado, Uma, horse, Yado, residence, lodging, home. But Toyosato Mimi, I don't know why they've put Sato in there, but Toyo, abundant, Mimi, ear. She's got the very big ears over here. Huh?
It's a fascinating thing because there's sort of two parallel metaphors that are almost opposite that are going here. I know some of the lore behind this, but there is there's the story of able to listen to 10 people at once, and so that's why the hair is shaped up to resemble animal ears, perked up, ready to listen. But at the same time, over the actual physical ears are what look like gigantic sound-blocking headphones. As if to prevent overstimulation.
Right. I mean, my entirely crackpot theory is that the historical, if this is based on anything true, the historical Prince Shotoku probably had ADHD.
Or, like, sound hypersensitivity is another concept that I'm sort of perceiving here out of the character design.
Allegedly could talk to 10 people at once and deal with all of their petitions at the same time. There's so many legends about Prince Shotoku. There's also the chose a divine horse out of a stable of several hundred and then rode it and flew in the sky. There's could speak and chant sutras almost as soon as he was born. There's all kinds of these tales about him. But yeah, the ears in particular, given the 10 people at once thing, are very noteworthy here.
And with you saying that, I would like to remind you the rules of the setting of Gensokyo.
Mm.
Someone who has so many myths surrounding them, supposed deeds. That's how they ended up here. Since a legendary person like you was resurrected, it's no wonder they just decided to gather on their own. Wait, that's not very convenient for my faith. Desire overflows from within you. I have no reason to fight with you. Harmony is to be valued.
That quote there, harmony is to be valued. That is, I think, the first article in the 17-article quote-unquote constitution, which is this important document that Prince Shotoku issued and is regarded by some ultranationalist types as the original Japanese constitution. That is highly debatable. However, it is an important document in Japanese history, and it was an early use of that kanji wa. So harmony is to be valued. That's where that's coming from.
But going back empty-handed after coming all the way out here is kinda... I understand. If I read your heart's desires, there is no need for words. Wouldn't you like to fight me, and achieve some merit should you defeat me? Well... But... pay me no mind. It will be beneficial for my resurrection as well. Huh? Now, attempt to defeat me. That will bring harmony to this world. No bombing more than twice. No bombing more than twice. Not gonna screw this up now.
Honor, colors of 12 levels. A reference to the court rank system instituted around that time.
Ooh, that got spicy for a second there.
Hermit sign, Taoist of the land of the rising sun.
Yeah, I've been pronouncing it with a hard T sound, which I guess is wrong.
No, it's just a different form of transliteration.
So that's what happens when you run out of health with Spirit Meter. You're forced into Spirit mode, and then you get the timer that goes, and when the timer ends, you die. On the final boss, this is our first time seeing it, because I'm just that cool.
Summon Royal Clan's Chaotic Dance.
Get a load of this.
Thou art mine.
The more the merrier.
Oh, this is the Horyuji Temple Pagoda in the background.
It's no use. Not over yet. Playtime's over.
Secret treasure, Armillary Sphere of Ikaruga-dera. Ikaruga-dera, Ikaruga Temple. Ikaruga is also the name of the palace in which the historical Shotoku resided in, and that is actually one of the things that we know for sure about Shotoku because the archaeology has borne it out.
Oh, power recovery.
Light sign, Halo of the Guze Kannon. Also, it bears noting that when it says Miko here, Miko usually in modern Japanese refers to a shrine maiden. Miko in the context of a member of the royal family in the Asuka period refers to an imperial prince. A little bit of an understandable point of confusion, I think.
Yep, don't get it twisted.
Lasers of 17 articles. Oh my goodness, the lasers turned into Vajras. Lasers? Yeah, they 17 article constitution.
I can bomb one more time, but I don't think I want to. I also have Spirit ready. Final pattern.
Falling stars on divine spirit most of the end.
If you stay completely away from the bullets, they don't transform. Unless she orders them to. But if you get near them, they will transform off timing with her orders. As you're seeing there. Oh my god, that was... Okay, cool. I didn't die there. You heard the death sound, but that was me actually doing a Border of Death trance mode. So it didn't count. No more bombs. No more bombs. This is very important that I use no more bombs. I want to get the parallel ending here. Because it's funny. There we go. Normal 1 credit clear, 3 bombs available. Let's do a little dance. Okay. A dojo constructed in a secret land. Thank you for the cheer. It was built in a sealed world solely for Miko and her followers. This was a place even Gensokyo didn't know of. Yeah! Nice shout. Horia! Sanae and Futo talking. Futo, you got it. Sanae had converted. She was ultimately won over by their overwhelming charisma. Is this really what Touhou training is like? That is right, it certainly is. Now keep at it. Right. Sanae thought that the gathering of divine spirits, aka desires, was connected to faith. That was the entirety of her reasoning for converting and training. However, she came to know she wasn't getting any faith herself. Where had Sanae mistaken her way? Actually, this wasn't a mistake at all. Japanese Shinto has close ties to the continent's Buddhism and Taoism. Sanae was enlightened to the fact that trying to gather faith without realizing such was meaningless. Ending number 6. Of course, it seems she'll convert right back soon. If I may put something on the screen here and say something out loud.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. You got me good. You got me good.
This is a parallel ending. Congratulations.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay.
I picked the ending that seemed the spiciest from what I could tell.
Yeah.
Sanae converts, realizes, wait, this isn't working for gathering more faith, converts right back before the start of the next game. Maybe without even talking to Kanako or Suwako. Desire wants to go beer drinking in Germany or Belgium. Games are made by people. One credit cleared. Parallel ending. Good, good, good. Since you have fulfilled your desire to play, thank you for playing. Thank you, I'm sorry for clicking that. Yay! So, any closing thoughts on the story here before we move on to the extra stage?
Well, that was fittingly spicy, and wow, you got me good as usual, more than once. Wow. Yeah. So that's the that's inspired by the Asuka period, which is way far back. So, you know, this is earlier than I usually deal with, but it's still a pivotal point in Japanese history because, among other things, as I said, Prince Shotoku is the reason why the character Wa becomes so associated with Japan. He's also responsible for some of the reforms that create the Yamato court in its Heian era developed form. And oh, I'm sure, Zoe, I'm sure. Thank you. And yeah, so it's an important era, even if it's, you know, half legendary, and you know, some of the things are borne out by archaeology and some of them aren't. So wow, this is a pleasure. Thank you.
So, the extra stage. I would rate this one as being not the hardest or anything. After all, this game was changed to be easy, like, was sort of Zun opting to make an easier Touhou game than the previous ones have been. But it's still the extra stage, so it's still difficult. I have beaten this exactly once in practice for the stream. And what this means is that in the replay menu, if all else fails, I can pull up a in-game replay of me winning it. We'll give it some real attempts first, but if after X number of attempts I can't do it, then I'll just pull up the replay and we can both spectate. Prayer for protection from Danmaku, extra mode. May I be able to dodge Danmaku. I will be doing this as Reimu. Shrine Maiden of 5 Desires, Magician of Greedy Desires, Shrine Maiden of Selfish Desires, Half Phantom of Deathly Desires. Okay. And then they have different commentary as well. The yokai bared their fangs in fear of the saint's revival. I don't care who it is. If they're a yokai, I'll exterminate them. The yokai bared their fangs in fear of the saint's revival. Is this Miko girl really that scary? The yokai bared their fangs in fear of the saint's revival. Another yokai newcomer? I wonder who it is. The yokai bared their fangs in fear of the saint's revival. I came to the Myoran temple like Lady Yuyuko asked, but... As a reminder, Yuyuko is the first boss in this game and the person that Yomu is in service to. And so yes, you are fighting your boss, your own... You are fighting the person you are in service to if you play as this character in the main game. Level name? Coming up. I'm gonna do better than that.
Yoren Temple, raise the flag of rebellion. I can't read that, it's too red.
After
Miko's revival, the power of the saint has grown too strong. Now is the time to commence the yokai rebellion.
Raise the flag of rebellion. Might have gotten a little synced here. Let's see if I can recover it. Nope. Knowing what to do in advance helps a lot. Okay, max spirits. All things considered, somewhat easy patterns for the extra stage for the most part. There's one spot where I usually bomb, and just of how the mechanics of this game end up working out, it's kind of possible to do this perfectly. Ah, those bums all resurrected. The yokai world is in an uproar now. Old yokai number 1, Nyri A. So I called in the yokai's trump card. It's over for you right now, though. Spell card.
Unknown will-o'-the-wisps in unknown orbit.
And yes, feel free to ask your questions in the chat for this at this point. Although, I don't want to take a death there. We might be seeing several of these things numerous times, so we will of course discuss the boss when it arrives, but after that, yeah. Free to take questions. And yeah, Nyri was the extra stage boss of UFO, if you remember. Of which I successfully defeated. This parent's kinda up to luck, because like the attack title implies, these will-o'-wisps sort of just go wherever they please. See, this is apparently really about thinking on your feet. Sometimes it's really easy, sometimes it really isn't. Also, I did that wrong, whoops.
Unknown skyfish with unknown shape.
I didn't want to collect those items that early. Instead, I want to do this, and blitz her through, and then collect the items at that point. So they'd be doubled.
Yokai orb of unknown mechanics.
Weirdly enough, the mechanics behind this attack pattern are pretty easy to figure out. Ball hits wall, ball changes color, red ones aim at you, blue ones go wherever.
So, Kippers has been playing through Yokai Watch recently. Kitsune character in the game is actually the guardian spirit of the town the game takes place in. Wondering if that's based off of actual Kitsune. As it turns out, Kippers, there are many stories like this, including one from my own hometown. The Fox Iroha of Okarimiya had, for a while, been a nuisance to the local humans, but understandably because the humans were being rude to her, because the stone that was her divine vessel was on the side of the road and people were peeing against it, and she was understandably upset. And so she would take the form of a human and would trick humans into following her, and then would leave them face down, passed out in a ditch somewhere that they didn't recognize. So what the locals decided to do was that they moved the stone to a safer place that was not going to be on the immediate roadside. and she was honored as a local guardian spirit. And that stone is actually still there today in downtown Sendai. It's on the grounds of one of the local schools.
Right, we are about to meet this game's extra stage boss.
Uh-huh.
I have a crush on her. I've got a bad feeling about this. It smells like yokai around here. Or like wild animals? Well now. Aren't you the shrine maiden of the Hakure? Who are you? Oh, your pardon, please. I'm Futatsuiwa from Sado.
Okay, hang on. Futatsuiwa. Okay. So this is a tanuki. Tanuki, famous for their large appendages. Shall we say?
This is an educational stream. They are known for their large testicles.
They are known for their large. I'm trying not to get you struck by Twitch. They are known for their large testicles. This is something that is very famous about them. So it's interesting to me that this tanuki is named Futatsu-iwa, which means 2 stones.
Oh, didn't know that one. Zun, the master of metaphors. Everyone calls me Mamizo. Mamizo? What an odd name. Nue called me here, you see. She said that the yokai were in a pinch and she wanted me to lend my assistance. Well, I guess that's because I'm exterminating them all. However, I heard something about a sealed saint having been released. Oh, but I beat her. She was a piece of cake. Ho ho ho. My, but you sound confident. Now that I've arrived, though, I'll have to put you back in your place. My transformative powers are still at their prime. Now, shall we begin a 10-game match of Danmaku transformations? This is a fun boss fight with cool mechanics in it. Here's hoping I can win, but I know I can at least give you a good show.
First do a primate Danmaku transformation. Tamnook A, if you will.
And as is tradition, extra stage bosses have bomb immunity. So it buys you a little bit of damage time with your normal weapons, but otherwise doesn't really help. The main purpose of a bomb in an extra stage is deleting bullets. No free damage though.
Carnivorous Danmaku transformation.
Look at those bullets turning into dogs. It's so cute. Dogs, foxen, whatever it is.
Avian Danmaku transformation.
Fingers on the bomb button. Oh, that got spicy. Doing good. Boss's attacks are adorable. You are correct.
So, leaves amphibian Danmaku transformation. The leaves having powers, transformative powers. This is a thing for Tanuki. This is a thing for that extends beyond Tanuki also. I'm not entirely sure about the specifics, but yeah, it is a thing.
kind of crushing this.
Scrolls of Frolicking Animals. This is borrowing the title of a famous Heian-era anthropomorphic art scroll called Choju Jinbutsu Giga. I wrote an article about that for the Anime Herald some time ago.
Animal people?
Yes. There was in fact a Buddhist monk in the Heian era who was a furry who drew anthropomorphic art in this scroll, and it had that name in translation.
Whoa! That was a weird spot to be.
Tanuki's shapeshifting school.
Okay. I practiced this, but... Ah. Turn it into a tie. Scared. Got scared.
Wild deserted island. Well, that's a descriptor for Sato, all right.
How did I not get hit there? Oh my god.
Sato can, I think, be best described as the Tokugawa shogunate's version of sending people to Australia. Shrines devoted to specific... Okay, oh, there's so many. There's so many. You know, there's an Inari shrine I'm thinking of in particular on Oshima in Miyagi Prefecture. That was built in honor of, and may also enshrine, I'm not entirely sure, a kitsune named Shin-Emon. Well, yes, the gold mines are specifically what the Tokugawa shogunate sent convicts to.
I would like to note the spell pattern's name, and also the pattern itself. I am very...
Exorcism of the Stupid Shrine Maiden. But Shin-Emon Inari is in fact a shrine I have been to in person.
Please take a careful look at her.
We've got... Oh, she's dressed up as Reimu.
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
Transformation form. Idiot shrine maiden who sucks. Should have bombed. Oh well.
So Shin-Emon Inari was set up because the story goes there were some people from that area who went to central Japan on pilgrimage, and there was a big typhoon when they were due to come back, and of several ships only one came back. And as the locals greeted their surviving loved ones, there was this strange man with white hair and a white beard who showed himself and said, "You're welcome." And the locals said, "We don't recognize you." And he said, "Well, I'm not surprised, but I've been your neighbor for a long time. I live on that island over yonder. My name is Shin-Emon, and I was in Kyoto to receive court rank." Then he turned into a magnificent white fox, jumped on a 5-colored cloud, and flew off in the direction of the island. And the locals, in their gratitude, set up the shrine, which was originally called Shin-Emon Inari, and today is called Oshima Shinju Inari Daimyoji. And so that's, famous local yokai made good.
Okay. As is becoming a tradition at this point, extra stage survival pattern.
Mizo Danmaku in 10 transformations.
We have one objective. Live. Sticking to one side allows you to dodge the roaming dogs one at a time. Unfortunately, that stops working right about now. Now we need to switch sides in order to dodge the birds, which aim directly toward us. That said, we can still stick to one side in order to dodge the dogs. It's just we need to alternate now. Uh-oh. Now we can't go too far to the left or right. But the same pattern still applies. Oh, so close. Didn't die, though.
Corin. Pompoko, famous movie about Tanuki.
Moo. Moo, you can't do that. That's not how we do things around here. First try. Pray, might I be granted a brief respite? Haven't you already done 10 transformations? 1, 2, 3... Oh, indeed I have. I thought we were only at 7 or 8. Besides, doing any more won't let you beat me. Perhaps that is true. And it cannot be helped. Oh, what a shame that my long journey across the sea from Sato was for nothing. The sea? Oh my, can it be that you know not of the sea? No, well, I saw it once. On the moon. Well now, just once? What a shame that is. Why? Vast is the sea, hundreds of times the size of Gensukyo. There's no use in thinking of yourself strong if you know so little of the world. Oh, what's the difference? I can imagine the gist of it by listening to stories about them right here. Besides, you are still a pushover. Oh, the frog in the well knows not of the great sea, as they say. If you truly believe yourself to be strong, it won't do to be afraid of pluming into the depths of the open sea. Congratulations, you have cleared the extra stage. By the way, if you cleared the game holding 3 or more bombs using a character that has already obtained the good ending, you'll be able to see a different ending from usual. Only limited to 1 season for normal difficulty or higher. I don't know what to say. First time I reached Mamizo, I cleared it. Easy game, easy life. Let's just continue on to what we usually do, which is weapons and ability highlight. On lunatic difficulty. Marissa has a laser, and of course, it is Marissa, so her bomb is what her bomb always is now, which is Love Sign Master Spark. Deploy immense laser to obliterate absolutely everything in front of you. Holding shift will turn your laser into a sort of slightly area of effect little set of mini rockets almost. It's almost like micro missiles. But anyways, you can have up to 4 of them. Both lasers and the micro missile sets. Keep questions coming in if anyone has them for our resident expert on duty. And yeah, Marissa's gimmick for the bomb makes it so... Oh yeah, Marissa also has the unique ability of goes extremely fast during spirit mode. You can aim the bomb, but you can move very slowly while doing it, which means you can't really use it to gain the item get borderline. Netherworld at night is eerie as ever. Oh, do we have visitors? Hold on a moment, I'll prepare some tea. Hold up. No need to waste your time on me. I just want to hear if you know anything about those strange spirits. Spirits? Do you mean me? If you want to check up on me, you'll have to beat me first. Easy game, easy life. That's a little bit scarier of a pattern.
Dance of the Dead Butterflies, Cherry Blossoms.
I think this might literally be one of her patterns from the final boss of Perfect Cherry Blossom. Like, this looks slightly familiar. Or maybe it's just because butterflies.
Cursed sakura trees that never bloom. That's a very good question. I've never heard of such a thing, but I'm not surprised that that's a thing.
Yeah, checks out for me too.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Is this anywhere in particular that you're thinking of?
Oh, tiny detail in this game that I didn't take the moment to note, but the music changes when you enter trance. Most of the instruments vanish, and some of the backing instruments gain more prominence, and a couple of sort of more echoey and ethereal instruments take the lead. We already saw Rain. We already saw Sane, of course. That's what I beat the main game with. We saw Reimu because that's what we beat the extra stage with, which leaves us with Yomu. This is a very, very gimmicky player type. Increased power in the spirit realm, even more so than other people. Your hitbox becomes tiny when you're focused, but only when you're focused. And you have as your power goes up, the trail of little backing spirits that are trailing behind you will form a little train that follows you. But if we enter focus mode, we stop attacking. And we need to let go of focus mode in order to release sword slashes. This is a charge character, like in a fighting game. You need to charge up a hit before using it. And this happens whenever you enter focus mode. You know, the thing you want to do for the majority of your time when fighting bosses. It also doesn't even come out if you don't charge it enough. If you don't fully charge it, you don't get the sword slashes at all. And then in the spirit world, you are just constantly doing that slicing.
Yo Ayakashi, is it presumably associated with the monk Saigyo?
Oh, I see where you're going with this, Conley. That's another game that I never play with the translation, so.
Okay.
Cherry trees, death, curses. Gotta say that bomb is really cool, though. Saigyo as a name.
Yeah, the Saigyo was a noted monk of the early Kamakura period.
It would seem the spirits are all heading in the direction of the village. Ah, Yomu. Yuriko Saigyo Ji.
Oh, okay. So she's literally, this is literally the monk Saigyo, but as a trans girl. Okay, that makes it that makes a lot more sense now.
Where are you going at this time of night? Oh, shoot, I skipped dialogue. Huh? What half-asleep nonsense are you spouting? Huh? Hasn't this become a serious matter? What do you mean? Either way, if you say you're going to leave, you'll have to defeat me first. I skipped dialogue again. Oh my god. It's because I wanted to hold shift in order to enter focus mode, but apparently that also advances text. Anyway, this character is extremely gimmicky and difficult to use. And then we got spell practice, which we can just go to anything. Lunatic difficulty. Let's see what this looks like on the hardest mode. And then in addition, a weird gimmick that is added for this mode, there's also Overdrive, which is a special variant that can only be accessed in practice mode that is a worse than lunatic version of the pattern. Just as a singular challenge for you to try and do. Which brings us to Wild Carpet, a variant of Wild Desert Island. What if they came at you from both sides? Unless there's anything else to address, I think that might be it. It feels like this went by a lot quicker, but that's because I just, like, crushed the main game, and then the first time I reached Mamizo, I defeated her first try. So, like, cool.
Just cheered 100 bits.
Anything else to talk about? Or
If folks have anything else they want to throw in my direction, I'd be happy to answer your questions.
1 second here. I could do a very, very quick look at something. We've been following the mainline games here, but... Oh, dirt. 1 second.
So since you mentioned Saigyo, the Saigyo Ayakashi, Saigyo was a monk poet of the late Heian, early Kamakura. He traveled some of the places that I lived in the north, and he inspired Matsuo Basho many centuries later to go make his famous journey with his friend Kawai Sora up through the north and back around on the other side of the Japan Alps in what is remembered in his travelogue as Oku no Hosomichi, the narrow road to the interior. So I imagine that that's what Yuyuko is supposed to be. That's who she's supposed to be. So not what I was expecting. That one snuck up on me.
Don't mind me, I'm just handling... Oh, that's gotta be really loud. One moment, sorry. Oh, how I double spoil my viewers. This is one of the off-number games. This, I think, is, what, 12.5? Whole numbers are reserved for the mainline games, and not fractional, but decimal numbers are reserved for gimmicky bonus sort of games. And so this is Aya doing photography work. Use the photo button to photograph the boss. Hold both the focus and photo buttons to wind your film faster, but it makes you move real slow, so be careful. Use the photo button to clear enemy bullets while photographing the boss. Hold the photo button to take photos of the enemy from a distance. You can use the rotate button to change the viewfinder's orientation. You can pick a photo to save if you have a personal preference for any of them in particular. And what this game is that bizarre photo-taking, bullet-deleting mechanic in order to play a boss rush version of Touhou Project with unique patterns exclusive to this game. And yes, you are taking photos for the Bunbun Maru, which is the newspaper, which is the Tengu newspaper that Aya operates. I did a little photography practice with the Harvest Goddess who was wandering nearby. Maybe I'll do this again if I start getting rusty. And hey, you might recognize her. She is the first boss of Mountain of Faith back when we started this project. Monariko Aki. And yeah, taking portrait photos allows you to reach forward better. But yes, all the Touhou games are available on Steam, and I don't want to keep Nyri here for an extended period. But I just wanted to highlight that alternate games in the series exist. And lots of really gimmicky stuff can be found in the alternate and the off mainline games. Double Spoiler is one of my favorites. And let's see. Longtime viewers of me will remember me highlighting a game series, top-down bullet hell game series called Murasaki. And the things that I like Murasaki for are the same sort of things that I like these off-mainline games. Hey, here's a beautiful rainbow pattern from good old Tatara Kogasa. Rainfall and gorgeous rainbows passing over. There's a lot of artistry in the patterns here, because this game was designed exclusively around the boss fights, so a lot more care was put into making those patterns themselves look flashy. Happy Pride, Kogasa. Happy Pride. But yes, Murasaki is a game series that I liked because, as my brother once put it, Murasaki's gameplay mechanic is the gimmick mode that didn't get away from the cutting room floor of Zun because it was too gimmicky even by the gimmick standards of a non-mainline game. Pattern of Murasa here. But yeah, score attack boss rush game, very cool. One of my favorites. But that, I think, will do it for today's stream. Thank you again, as always, Nyri, for joining us here. Let me go and get some of your stuff up here. Riverside Wings.
Thank you for having me, as usual.
There's the primary homepage there.
Yeah, riverside-wings.com is my homepage. The podcast scripts go up there, and my portfolio and other things are there as well. Also, a contact form if you want to get in touch with me.
And then Riverside Wings is also the Twitch account in which you stream under.
Yes.
There we go. And that's going to do it for today's stream. Let's see who can raid to. Following. Macaw is playing a retro game that maybe nobody's ever heard of, as Macaw 45s want to do. The title for it is just Mysterious Ultra Obscure Barbarian Adventure. Presumably an obscure exclusive for the Tandy Color computer. I've never even heard of that. It's called Barbarian Quest from 1990. So,
Oh, the Tandy Color computer. I remember that one. Yeah, that they used to sell those at Radio Shack.
it appears to be a game called, yeah, Barbarian Quest. So, we'll raid on over to here. And yeah, Macaw plays a bunch of fantastically, genuinely super obscure games for frequently consoles I've never heard of. Good stuff. In any case, to another place, my friends.
To another place.